Trump is changing the dependent age from 18 to 7. So I just need to know in August, are we sending them back to school or are we sending them to work? Because if the dependent age is now 7, you trying to say they dependent. If I'm not mistaken, back in the day, they used to work at that age, right? So is he trying to tell us that they need to go back to work? Because I don't think Trump know that these kids ain't regular kids. These kids will flip out if they ain't got they tablets. Now, is we putting them in IT? Is we teaching them kids how to code? They might like that. They might like that. We're going to have to figure out them some jobs because they ain't going to do regular jobs. They barely listen to them teachers. Like, these employers is about to catch hell. They going to be babysitters. And don't put me at the same company as my kids. I don't want to work with them. I already got to be with them at home. Like, y'all done already took them out of school, so now y'all want them to work. And then don't put them as the same company as me. Like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Like, and how much is you paying these kids? Because if you my 7-year-old he needs to get paid well. He can't work for pennies. So that ain't gonna work either. Then you can't even disrespect that kids, because now they got to leave their job to go to this job. They're going to probably, oh my Lord, Trump ain't thinking this out. He ain't thinking this out clearly. And then the big families is definitely going to get the most, like, to hit the most. Like them single parents, they got like 8, 9, 10 kids. They going to feel it the most.
Not Trump. You done changed this age of dependency from 18 to 7. A child can wipe their ass right by that age. But you, come on, man. You done did this. Little Tyrone don't even know how to count to 10. And now, the mama, they sure enough finna throw him out. He finna be on the streets. Because these folks, they be relying on their taxes. They have all these children so they can get a good tax check. Now, you done cut that off. It's finna be a lot of confusion when they catch on, because you know folks don't read, so they got to hear about it. When they catch on to what these folks is here, she say, it's gonna be hell, because you done fucked up bad.
Trump just keeps on killing it out there. I just love every day hearing the things that he's doing. So I've been hearing all day today about the age of dependency bill that just passed. Hallelujah. All you folks that have just been sitting at home with your kids up to age 19 thinking you ain't got to go out and even try to find a job, it's about time you got off your rear end. You could do something. There are jobs out there to be had. All you folks getting SNAP benefits and stuff and just sitting at home, we're tired of supporting that. There are places out there that need employees so that folks that are paying taxes can get good service. When your kid reaches the age of 8, now you have to get out there and try to find a job. Trump is doing what is right for all Americans, and it is not for people just to be sitting at home doing nothing but drawing free benefits on the taxpayer's dime. So, Trump, keep doing your thing, baby.
So this big, beautiful bill stopped the age of the dependent at 7. Your 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old is not a dependent. It stopped the age of dependent at 7, which means you cannot use them for income tax, food stamps, Social Security, nothing. They're no longer dependent. Some of the congressmen say that they voted for this bill and signed this bill because they did not read the verbiage and they didn't understand the wording that was in it. Also, if you receive any benefits, Social Security, anything, that the now new qualification of Social Security, Medicaid, and food stamps is to work. That's a new qualification. Like, you have to have a job. How will disabled people get a job? Now, mind you, I know a lot of people not understanding. Now, this big, beautiful bill, you can go online and you can download it and you can read it yourself. It is very ugly. Nothing's beautiful about it. Okay, but the disability that you receive, now your qualifications to receive that disability is to work. You have to have a job. And the reason that they're saying that this may not be passed or whatever, because if this is passed, even the disabled will be qualified for disability, will have to work. The verbiage in a wording does not exclude you anymore for your disability. Is that it does not exclude you to be 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old. Your mother or father don't have to take care of you, baby. You're on your own, basically. Which I know us parents are not going to disown our kids because of a bill. But at the end of the day, they're not going to assist you after your child turns 7. Meaning they're going to get cut off any benefits you're getting. If you're getting food stamps, you got 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, they won't get, they'll be cut off because they're no longer considered a dependent. This is crazy, y'all. And it's a lot more in there. Like I said, please don't be like y'all were when it came down to Project 2025. I know a lot of people wish they would have downloaded it when it was online for free to download. Go download that bill. Save it to your phone. Go through it. That way you'll know what you're facing, because it's not good. And the words in there does not protect you because you're elderly or you have a disability or because you're 8 or 9 or 10. Okay? It does not. This is an ugly bill. It's a very expensive bill. And in a year, I don't know what we're going to do. Y'all, we need to start the bartering from each other. If y'all have neighbors, start getting close to your neighbors. Start getting close to people within your vicinity, your close friends. Start building a community. Start building a circle, because you're going to need it. We're going to be on a bartering system very, very soon if this type of stuff keep happening. We can't do this for 4 years. Y'all be blessed.
This is a blatant lie, and it's so horrifying that this comes from somebody who represents a nonprofit that's supposed to help people.
Well, that age of dependency bill just passed. What does this mean? It means that if your children are 8 and older, you can no longer claim them as dependents.
That's just not true. And the thing is, people lying on social media, nothing new. But this is extremely damaging misinformation, because it doesn't change who you can claim as a dependent. It doesn't have anything to do with who you can claim as a dependent. It doesn't mean that 8-year-olds and up are no longer claimed as a dependent on your taxes. No, the only thing this bill does in regards to aid is it says that if you're getting SNAP benefits, once your child is over the age of 7, you have a work or work-seeking requirement. Because it used to be up until your child was 19, you didn't even have to look for a job. All this does is say once your kid hits 8, you got to start looking. You got to at least show that you're trying to get a job. That's it. Doesn't change who's a dependent on your taxes. Doesn't change anything about that tax situation. All it does is say once your kid turns 8, you got to start looking for a fucking job. And like I said, if this were just a person, this was just like some random creator on TikTok, I probably wouldn't even have made this video. But this person represents a nonprofit that says they're dedicated to helping families. Well, you're not helping them when you lie to their face.
If something is wrong with the shit that I'm about to show you, then something is wrong with you. So they're saying that they lowered the age of dependence from 18 to the age of 7. You heard what I just said? They lowered the age of dependence from the age of 18 to the age of 7. So they're saying right now that your 7-year-old is responsible enough to take care of a household. Oh, you think I'm playing? Look at this shit. Listen to this shit right here.
Dependence from 18 to 7.
Listen.
So now, if you have an 8-year-old child, it is the belief of this administration that that child is self-sufficient and could work and support the family.
I don't know where this shit is going, but it don't seem like it's about to go the right way. How is it possible for a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old to take care of family? So you have Florida, then you have Iowa stating that these kids can work. Basically, what that says to me is that you're viewing these minors as adults. My question to you is, what 8-year-old do you know right now that's responsible enough to go to work, to get paid and take care of family? At that age, they're not even responsible enough to clean up their own rooms. So you're telling me the workforce is more important than giving these kids an education? Or what you're telling me is that these adults want to treat these kids like adults for a reason. And since we're on the topic, what type of jobs will these kids have? This is the question that we have to ask. You see, but this is the type of shit they do behind our backs when everybody is worrying about what's going on with Diddy's and the entertainment industry and what's going on in Hollywood with Justin Bieber and all of this shit that don't make no never mind or don't matter to what's going on with life. They make up laws and shit like this while we're not looking. And now we are in some real shit. When you're at those delicate ages, you shouldn't have a care in the world. But apparently, these people don't think that. Apparently, these people have something else planned. We need as much information as we can get on this shit, because this shit don't sound good at all. Pay attention.
I've been hearing rumors that Trump is trying to change the dependent age from 18 to 7 when it comes to your kids. I also saw other people make videos about this, so people are freaking out like, is this gonna change the child tax credit and whatnot? So let me clear this up for you. So just a few days ago, a major spending and tax bill just got passed in the House, and it had a lot of things, and I'll be covering those in the future videos, but let's focus on this one thing. This changing of the dependent age. So this has to do with SNAP benefits. What Trump is trying to do is that he's trying to change the requirements for someone to receive SNAP benefits. So if you're a parent and you're receiving SNAP benefits, right now, if you have children under the age of 18, you are exempt from the working requirement. However, Trump is trying to change that to make that 18 to age 7. That means if you have kids over the age of 7, you have to be working to receive SNAP benefit, whereas now you could have waited to age 18, but that is changing. Oh, and one more thing, he's also changing the upper limit age. Right now, if you're like 54, you don't have to work to receive SNAP, but now he's changing that to age 64. So you have to work until you're 64 to continue to receive SNAP. But this bill is now in the Senate. It may get changed. There may be other variations added, so it's not final, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up.
In the latest effort to rile up the public and rage bait and to make this administration and our current president look bad, there's a side that have started a rumor to say that the age of dependence has been lowered from 18 to 7. And they're making people believe that you cannot claim your child on your taxes unless they're under the age of 7. Let me go ahead and clear that up for you. That is revolving around SNAP benefits. Now, there are new stipulations for SNAP benefits and people who can receive them. And if you are without a dependent, you have to be working or enrolled in a trade program in order to qualify for SNAP benefits, right? Now, with this new stipulation, you're going to have to work to qualify even if you have dependents. You're going to have to either be working or in a trade program, unless you're caring for a dependent that's under the age of 7. Now, that's where the 7-year-old thing came from. No, you don't have to not claim your child if they're, between the ages of 8 and 18. You can still claim your child on your taxes all the way up to the age of 18. And if they're in college, I think it goes further than that, if I'm not mistaken, as your dependent. Either way it goes, because I don't know, I just send all my stuff to an accountant. But either way it goes, that's not true, okay? So if you on SNAP, baby, you're going to have to go to work unless you got a child under the age of 7. And even then, if I was you, I'd be thinking of some kind of hustle so that when they take you off of it after your child hits 7, you have some stored up, okay? And that's what it was in a nutshell. Calm down.
So I've been hearing a lot about this dependent age reduction bill that reduces the dependent age from 18 to 7. But there's been a lot of conflicting information on my For You page about what this bill will actually affect. So I just want to clear up where this bill is right now. This bill has passed in the House of Representatives and it has advanced on to the Senate for consideration. Now, as it currently stands, this age reduction only applies to people receiving SNAP benefits. Now, this doesn't mean you won't receive benefits if your children are over the age of 7. It just changes the work requirements that go along with having food stamps with dependents. So the bill is currently saying any dependents that you have that are over the age of 7 will no longer be considered dependents in the context of food assistance. And since they will no longer be considered dependents, you will now need to meet the work requirements for an able-bodied individual without dependents in order to receive your food stamps. Now, this is ridiculous, obviously, because minors are legally dependent upon you as the adult, but I'm honestly not surprised by a single thing that this administration does. Now, remember, this is just how the bill stands now. This could still be altered before the Senate vote. I mean, that does mean it could change for the better. I mean, it'll probably change for the worse, but hey, I'm already window shopping for a different country anyway, so. Don't forget to like and follow if you found this information helpful, and go ahead and share it just so that we can all do our part in keeping each other informed and up to date. Thank you in advance for your support. I love you, and we'll see you in the next one.
See, this is why I don't like playing telephone with niggas, because y'all almost had me in an uproar. Now, everybody has been hearing about the adjustment of age from 18 to 7 under Trump's big, beautiful bill. And a lot of people are not taking in the full information that comes along with it. So basically, what is actually happening is usually under SNAP, able-bodied adults who do not have children often have to join work programs while they are receiving those benefits. And on a usual day, the able-bodied parents who have children at least 18 or younger are exempt from taking those work programs. What they're doing now, they're actually changing the age of that to 7. So now able-bodied adults who have children that are 7 or younger are still exempt from taking the work programs, but any able-bodied adults that have children of the age 8 or higher now have to participate in these work programs. And so that's basically what it is. And it's like, I was about to go crazy because I'm sitting here like, oh no, the age of dependence gone to 7. So where does the age of consent go to? You know, y'all almost had me flip out on this app. But this is the quintessential point of whenever you see these videos of information going by, don't just automatically record. Stop and research. Research. I always say it, research, people, because this game of telephone gets dangerous and it's a ploy. Okay? They want y'all to feel stupid so that the people on their side, they can be like, I told y'all they was dumb. How did they even get that out of that? I don't fucking know. You know, the niggers. Stop and research every time you see something. Please, my people.
So let me put a finer point on this. It will strip $18 billion in benefits from households with children. It will harm 1 in 5 kids who rely on SNAP, and it lowers the age by which a child is considered dependent from 18 to 7. No one I know would argue that an 8 or a 10 or a 12-year-old is not dependent on their parents for food, housing, or care. And the authors of this bill have exempted families within this new definition of dependent only if they are married or living in the same household. But what about single or unmarried parents who are doing their best? This bill leaves them behind.
Boy, I don't know what to do with y'all. Y'all just love being ignorant. Y'all see a headline and you run with the headline and don't do any research after that. You don't even read the story that the headline is attached to. All you see right now, we got Trump trying to change the legal age of children from 18 to 7. They trying to make the children work, blah, 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 whatever. No. A part of the big, beautiful bill that they're trying to get through the Senate now is a provision that states your child is not dependent at 18. It goes down to 7, meaning right now, currently as it states, you don't have to work. Your work requirement is waived until your child is 18. They're trying to change that from the work requirement for the parent from 18 to 7. So that means if your child is older than 7, you have to work to get the benefit. That's it. Now, if you don't work, you shouldn't eat. I don't got a problem with people working, putting into the system, and then pulling out from the system, right? But you can't just be there lazy all day, don't eat. Don't work and expect that we're going to keep feeding you. So you're going to have to get off your ass. Hopefully that passes. I'm a big fan of that. I hope that passes. I think if you don't work, you shouldn't eat. That's what my Bible says. If a man don't work, he shouldn't eat. And so I'll start having all these babies out of wedlock, we had this problem. But let's get off the government. Let's be self-sustaining. Let's work hard. Let's do what we need to do to make our families and our kids better. Let's do it. So read. Reading is fundamental. Reading is for understanding. With all thy getting, get understanding.